Hello, welcome to Telling It Like It Is, Oakland A's Weekly here. We're here on a big week. We just were hoping for a 3-3 week last week, but we got 4-2. It was a strange 4-2 because we easily could have been 5-1, but we also could have lost Sunday and easily been 3-3. And what I think was the craziest game of the year with the horrendous instant replay calls, and that's where I'd like to start. I just don't know what the purpose of instant replay is at this point. There's two plays that go against the A's where clearly there is no tag. And at the same time, a similar play happens at the plate that benefits the Twins. And there was no tag there, but they called them out on the field. And I don't know why that one had to get overturned. It was just a bizarre game. Thank God Elvis bailed us out with some creative base running. And then Deke led up a big 2-run homer. But, we did pull that game out 7-6. That was nice. But overall in the week, a successful road trip of 4-2. Like I said, you get greedy and you think of Saturday's game where you're up 4-1. You're totally playing a perfect A's type of game, solid pitching and a couple of home runs, and all of a sudden, boom, uh, you know, we just give it up. We give it up in a matter of seconds, basically, and we wind up losing that game. That reminds me of the one against the Blue Jays that night where we're up a run and all of a sudden we give up a 5 spot. So Deke has had a couple of rough outings in a row this week, but really hard to be critical of the bullpen. I still think that that's been the best part of our team overall. Although we do need some depth there, we still need some help. I'd like to see Lazardo go to the pen when he gets back and maybe give us another person. I think he'd be great bullpen guy. Because one time through the order, I think it eliminates the fact of stubbornness that I have expressed before in this program about how stubborn he can be sometimes in trying to throw harder. Difficult situations, excuse me. So a 4-2 week, better than a 3-3 week, like we talked about. We were hoping for 3-3, but like I said, it was a weird 4-2, but we'll take it because Saturday's loss was crushing. I was very disappointed after that loss. And we got some injury updates. We also have, Moreland is going to go on the IL, and Barrera is going to come up, which will be interesting for us. It's good because it gives us another stick that seems to be off to a hot start, I should say, in AAA. So this week, though, we got the big 3 tonight with the Astros, and then we get 3 with the Anaheim Angels. But what happens there is Los Angeles Angels, actually. But what happens there is Mike Trout is out now for 6 to 8 weeks, so we do get a little bonus there. And of course, they don't have Pujols, but so it's a situation where we got a little bit of a benefit here. We've had a lot of injuries. Like I said, we did get Pinder back last week, and the kid who came up and pitched for us, Caprillion, did a great job from the Sonny Gray deal here in New York. No one even knows that was one of their own guys here in New York. Yankee fans aren't really aware of those things. They only follow the big club. But I thought he looked pretty good, pretty solid. His dad's antics were hysterical to watch. I was loving to see that. Big, strong kid, though. I'd like to see him find his strike zone a little bit better. But overall, our starting pitching was pretty good last week, with the exception of Manaea, who, he was just awful. Again, his ERA at Fenway is over a 9 in his career. It's matter of fact, it's a lot over a 9. But I know it was his turn. But that's funny because his ERA at Fenway is awful, but yet at the same time, he threw a no-hitter versus the Red Sox. So he's pitching tonight. We'll see how he does versus the Astros. Now, I know this might not be a popular opinion, but I feel like the Astros 1 through 9 are better than us. But I feel like our bullpen and our starting pitching is a little bit more consistent than them. So I feel like that's how we're always able to compete with them. Last year we won the season series with them. They beat us in the playoffs. This year we got off to a rough start with them. But I feel like that's how we can compete. But that lineup, 1 through 8, I mean, when Tucker's batting 7th, we got problems. So I'm hoping we could score off of them because I just, Bregman, Altuve, Correa, Brantley, I mean, just ridiculous how good they are. Alvarez, I mean, just unbelievable, that lineup. And it's just really rough. I mean, such a good lineup. I feel like that's the best lineup in baseball. And I know people get mad at me saying that about one of our opponents, but I really feel that way. But I feel like they're missing a starting pitcher or two. I feel like their bullpen is decent. But I'd like to see us pick up some more bullpen help. And also, I'm happy about Berea being up, but I like Moreland, even though his average is a little low. He's given us some quality at bats this year, so I feel like we've done a pretty solid job with Moreland. But he's a professional hitter. If we go around the diamond, Olson's been pretty solid. The batting average has dropped off. It was 269 last I checked, but still hitting well, still getting the big hits. Jed has been up and down. He's like the Dow Jones right now. Jed has been he's had some really quick streaks of like 5 for 9, but then he has a couple of rough ones where he's like 1 for 9. So He's been a Dow Jones. It's good to get Pinder some bats at shortstop because I feel like Andrus Elvis is one of those guys that if you spot him some rest, I think he's more productive. And you've seen that Elvis has been better the last couple of weeks. He's made some great base running plays. He's gotten some big hits. I know he's not really off the interstate yet. He's still under 200, but he's been better. And I think giving him a break now and then, because he's a guy that played pretty much all the time for all those years in the heat of Texas, he might be a little worn out, but to spot him once in a while, the guy like Pinder, I think is great. We had to send Machine down, but I think, that was the right thing to do. At third base, Chappie's come around. He's over 200. He's been good. Still don't like him with third and man on third and less than 2 outs. Still a poor approach. Again, they struck out. Well, actually, swings at a ball in the dirt, but the run comes in. But I don't even, that ball bounced like 5 feet in front of the plate. I don't know how he swung, but he did. So that's a guy I'd like to see get a little better for us. But overall, he's been better. Ken has been solid at the leadoff spot. He got that 370 on base right now. I like to see him jack that up to 400 and be a real stud up there. But he's been solid for us. Ramon is, he's a gamer, man. He wanted to kill the umpires the other night, so I respect that. Those umpires were bad, and he was really bitching about some of the umping. And you know what? He had a right to bitch about some of the umping. And right field, we've had Brown out there doing a good job. Piscotty went deep the other day. So we're getting a good platoon out of there. Brown's had his moments. Piscotty's had some good moments. So overall, I feel like the lineup has been pretty good. It's funny when you look at the A's. The only real team stat we're really up there in right now is quality starts. We have 21 quality starts this year, and that's last I checked, second in baseball. So that's been a big thing for us. If you look at us, like home runs, we were in the top 5 for a while. Now we dropped out of the top 5, but I feel like team ERA, we're 6th to 7th, we're right around there. So we've been solid. But still, we still have a negative plus minus on the runs, which is amazing to be in first place and have a plus negative. But this week, again, big week, 3 with the Astros, 3 with the Angels. I'm going to be greedy. I want 4 and 2 because I sense the Angels could be a little vulnerable right now. So I'm being a little greedy. 3 and 3, I wouldn't scream. But the funny thing is, speaking about that, you look at the schedule. We haven't played the AL West except for the Astros. I mean, we play the Astros this week, and then we don't play them until September and October. We the last 6 of the last 9 games with the Astros. So this is really rare. I mean, we've already played them, I think 6 or 7 times. We're going to get 3 more here for, a total of 10 games. We got 9 more left with them, but we're not going to see them for a while. We'll see them after this. We're going to see them. Like I said, how many games we play with them already? We probably played about 9 or 10 games with them after today. So we'll see them again later. And I know we finish up 2 of the last 3 series with them. So it's going to be a big break for the Astros. I think the schedule's in our favor. While we've played the Blue Jays and the Rays already, so that's a good sign. Played the Orioles already. Have not played the Yanks yet. Okay, and so that's gonna be interesting. We played the Red Sox, all right, so that's been good. So we still got to play the Yanks, but we got to play mostly from now until September. We're going to play mostly AOS games. So this is a strange situation. Unfortunately, this year we really get ripped off in the Interleague, playing the Giants, who are solid this year. We already played the Dodgers, who were 13 and 2 when we played them. We gave them their first loss pretty much. So, I mean, it's really unfortunate the Interleague schedule that we get this year. It's one of those bad luck situations. We can't do much about it, so we have to deal with what we have. So that's going to be that's a little bit unfair, but that's the way it goes. I mean, the Giants have risen again, so maybe they'll cool off before we get to them. And we can go from there. But, like I said, we already played the Twins, played the Tigers. We have not played the Indians yet. We've not played the White Sox yet, so that's going to be tough. The White Sox are a little banged up. I wouldn't mind going to play them right now. And it's interesting. We haven't played the Royals yet. So we're going to have to see how it goes from here. But a lot of AL West ball coming up with Seattle. And we got the Angels and we got the Rangers. So this is going to be a time to put a little distance. It's starting to become a little bit of a 2-team race here. And I'm not trying to be paranoid. I try to be brutally honest. And I always try to, prepare for the worst. I feel like this year is going to be a tough year to make the wild card. So the division, I feel like, holds extra importance. If you look the way it's set up right now, it's the A's and the Astros. The A's are a half game up. But the Yanks are going to probably win their 90 games just because they have a lot more talent. They're still not scoring runs here in New York. People are going crazy. But Voit is back, and that's going to help a lot. And they'll make that late season pickup to help themselves. The Blue Jays are going to come around, and Tampa, as we saw, very tough team. Met fans got enough of Tampa this weekend here in New York. And the White Sox are going to have a good record. They already do, and the Indians. So here we are. Don't forget, we're back to 2 wild cards this year. It's not 3 again. So it's going to be really difficult. So I feel like this emphasis is we got to make some hay while we got a chance to make the hay, and we got to find a way to not rely on that wild card and really hopefully get a chance to win this division as we did last year. The starting pitching, like I said, I thought was pretty good. I give them a B for the week, except Mania was really bad, but at least it was bad and no stress game. You're done. And the bullpen, like I said, need a little patch up work. Deke was struggling. I give them a B minus for the week. I thought they struggled a little bit. Lewis had some moments, but he's had some bad, a couple of struggling moments too. Petit gave it up the other day in that 4-1 game, which is really, really surprising. Petit is usually just, to me, is the most important reliever we have. I always bragged him to my friends about how steady he is over the years and all the appearances he has and things of that nature. I'd like to get Wendelken back, and like I said, Puck. I don't know what's going on with him, and we've been pretty solid. The Irvin's been a very solid pitcher. Like I said, we'll see what Caprillion does again, and we'll go from there. Catching, I feel like the Murph's been pretty solid. He's always a threat to hit it out of the ballpark. Unfortunately, we got Garcia back, so that's a little bit unfortunate. But I don't know what the love affair is with Garcia. I'm not sure of who he has inside information on that keeps bringing him back to the major leagues. But I like Murph a lot. Murph's been pretty solid, one of our traditional solid backstops we have. But we need to be better. I feel like we can still do some things a little bit better. So hopefully this week I want to go for 4-2. It's gonna be tough though, because the Angels Otani is very hot right now. Like I said, no Trout for 6 to 8 weeks. That's huge. Mike was having his best year ever, although recently he did hit a 0 for 21 slump, but the other day he broke out of that in the ninth inning at Boston, I believe. Texas has been had some moments. They beat the Yanks last night, so we want that 4-2 week. 3-3 won't be a tragedy, but I want 4-2. We're at home. We're playing better on the road right now. I'd like to make a little hay at home here. So, and I have another question for you fans about the stadium. Like, I'm not out there living where you guys are. Is there any way to fix the current stadium? Because I know that we're the A's. We're going to go cheap here. What would need to be fixed? Please get back to me. What would need to be fixed? I know the toilets explode every spring, but I kind of like the big ballpark. I like a lot of the foul ground. But what else? You guys are there all the time. Please share. Like what could be fixed, and is it fixable? Or maybe it's not fixable. Tell me if you think it is fixable. Let me know what you think. You're there all the time. Let me know if it's salvageable. I would love to see us stay there, but I want to see the building fixed if we're going to stay, or else build us a new park. Because if they don't do one of the two, unfortunately, we'll probably be somewhere else. And like I said, I'd like to keep us in Oakland, but you know how it is. It's business. So please let us know. Like, what do you think? If it can be fixed, and if it can't, it can't. Let me know what you think. And let's get this one tonight versus the Stros. They got a young kid on the mound. We got Mania on the mound. So hopefully we can come up with some clutch hits, move some base runners, not give the extra out, and lock it up in the bullpen. So enjoy the week and answer those questions about the stadium. Let's go A's. Signing off. Telling it like it is.